Peace be to you all. Assalamu alaikum. This is Omar Abdul Malik, physician assistant and health educator. Ramadan Mubarak for those of you guys that are observing this blessed month. Allah accept your fast and your CM and your prayers. So today I'm going to talk about, let me say this before I get started. I'm doing a short run. I continue to work out throughout Ramadan, but I markedly truncate my regimen. I keep it shorter and not as intense as I'm fasting. No food or drink during the day. Can't eat till sunset. So let me stay on point. I'm going to talk about deciding between the what you want to do with your life as far as physician assistant, nurse practitioner, or physician. And this is a topic that's covered in other people's YouTube channels, probably better than mine actually, and I've covered it before myself. But I'm talking about this because I was honored to participate in a pre-med program's presentation. So they had me and this doctor on to talk about, I guess, the pros and cons of becoming, for her a physician and for me a PA, obviously. And one of the students asked me a question that I get quite a bit, which is, how do you decide what's best for you? And I really, I was gonna, bestow my my wisdom upon her as the great sage, the great elder sage that I am. But I didn't know what to tell her. I said, look, I started talking. I said, you know what? Listen, at the end of the proverbial day, you gotta do what you think is best for you. It's really nothing that I can tell you, no type of wisdom that I can bestow upon you. You got to kind of figure out what are the most important things in your life, and what are your priorities. What are your core values? This is the kind of a Covey-esque paradigm. Touted to be so. He wrote a book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. I keep talking about it because it made such a profound difference in my life. And then The Road Less Traveled by Dr. M. Scott Peck, who works as a Christian missionary in his medical field. So, concepts like delaying gratification, really, same thing, your core values, all these things you see in the kind of self-help books. But I said, look, I don't know you. I don't know what your particular values are. I don't know what your priorities are. 30 years ago, more than 30 years ago, 1988, that's when I started my sojourn as a college student. 20 years old, new on campus, and I'm going to med school. I want to be a pre-med student. I had no idea of the type of discipline that I took. I didn't even know what classes to take. I didn't know anything about the MCAT. I really didn't have a pre-med mentor. Now you do now with social media, whether they're in person or on the internet. But I just didn't know. I was clueless. So after flunking chemistry a bunch of times, struggling to get my GPA up past the 3.0, only to get a D in chemistry, then try to take it again and get a C. Then try to take it again and get no better than a B minus. Mediocre MCAT scores. I was frustrated. I said, okay, what else is there for me? if anything, I knew I didn't want to be a nurse. My mom was a nurse, and she would tell me about, it's a rewarding, I missed my turn. It's a rewarding career, but that's not what I want. I wanted to be in some type of position where I could, make the diagnosis and implement the health regimens. So, the Lord brought me to the physician assistant program. Years later, almost 10 years later, after fiddling around as a mediocre pre-med student, I didn't have a Dr. Andre Pineset, the study doc. Check his channel out. I'll put his link in the description. But as I went through my physician assistant sojourn, I had to decide whether or not I was going to do grad school. I got accepted to grad school for genetics, and it's still a very keen interest of mine. But it's very challenging to break in as an expert in that field. And you very rarely make enough money to even support yourself. And I always said, if I got married, I would want to be in a financial position where my wife didn't feel she had to work. I think that puts undue stress on a marriage. And my children, I could afford a nice life for my children. So, hence, the PA program, or the PA career has been wonderful for me. My wife has been homeschooling our kids for years and years. 3 of them are out of high school and doing their college work in their various fields. And our youngest is in middle school, 13. So it's worked out nicely. Alhamdulillah, thank God. But that's something that works for me. Then I did the doctorate in health education because I really didn't see how medicine as it's practiced today was helping people in my community. Can you keep people in my community from dying of, getting hypertension, hypercholesteremia, diabetes, morbid obesity, COPD, really things that are lifestyle modifications with some very good health education intervention. So I went ahead and did the doctorate of health education. And I've been lecturing around my community. So it's worked out well. I've published one book, that's my dissertation, and it's nice to see my work cited by other authors and researchers. Maybe I'll put the link for some of my work in the description. But that's a good fit for me. I was talking to one of my colleagues who's a nurse practitioner. We were kind of discussing the idea of going to get our MD from Oceana University. It seems like it's a great school. It's you can do the first 2 years online. We're like, yeah, let's do it, yeah. But then we're both married with children and working full time. I was like, I don't know. They were kind of old. We're like, no, we can do it. But then I thought about myself. Why would I do that? For me, I would really just do it for fun. And then probably my own curiosity to see if I could really do it. It's easy to talk the talk. But can you walk the walk? And my own ego. I'll tell anybody this, that the most mediocre physician still is above the most stellar physician assistant within the paradigm of within that kind of hierarchical paradigm of allied health. And you just have to be okay with that if you choose the PA route. Anyway, being a PA has allowed me to do many different things. I'm more concerned with being a good family man and community member and using my background as a health educator, try to be a fit, awesomely fit athlete in my 50s and beyond, God willing, inshallah. But that's it. I would advise you guys get pen and paper or your laptops and make a kind of a T-chart and say, okay, pros and cons to what I want to do, and how long is it going to take me, and how much money is it going to cost. I don't want to be burdened with student loans from medical school. This young woman said she owed $420,000 and she got a scholarship for $100,000, so she only owes $320,000. I don't want that burden, but you gotta pay the cost to be the boss, as they say. Anyway, and it's long. So I hope my running ramblings assisted you in some way. I wish you guys the best of success in your positive endeavors. Subscribe if you feel like it. Thumbs up if you want. You can reach me on Instagram, and I'll communicate with those of you guys that would like for me to be your mentor. Take care. Peace.